Good morning, everybody. We're going to take a look at what's going on here, then take a look at what's going on next week as usual. And I have a bunch of stuff pulled up that we're going to look through. Dave, hello, welcome. Rachel says hi, a dub. Hello, Rachel. Coinman says top 10 dubs. Yes, it looks like a top 10 for sure. Actually, I did predict 8th place. So far, it does seem like I'll get 8th place. I mean, we got 25 minutes to go until the competition ends. But by the looks of it, assuming everybody here is online by now, they should be. It's gonna be an 8th place finish, so that's awesome. Yeah, I was spot on that one. Mary NG, good morning. So welcome everybody. As usual, near the end of the competition, I did an adjustment here. I'll try to point it out. I mean, I'm trying to remember right. This was supposed to do 149 per hour. It went down to 148 per hour. So I made it a tweak that reduced the rate by 1, but I think it was worthwhile. So what I did is I split up this road, which allowed me to move my badges here. Slowed down my wood a little bit, but that's fine. I'm still overproducing wood and lumber. When I ended the stream, by the way, that I still had an issue with wood. There was a bunch of trees that still weren't rotated, even though I swear I rotated them, but that's all good. I fixed that pretty quickly. I had it online for like the first day and a half, and then when they announced the meta details for next week, I did want to go to the practice server and actually start like practicing some stuff. And I'm like, I can't be offline too long unless I build another Wizards Workshop making Mystic Matter. So that's what I did. Like I said, I provided a gap here to move my badges. The Hatchet Hank was here. I ended up moving the Hatchet Hank here. I ended up moving this Art and Decor shop here where the badges were. And I ended up moving this fabric plant here, which allowed me to build this Wizard's Workshop here, which it needed to be here because it has the 1 passive limestone from the limestone stand. That's why I couldn't just place it here. I had to move like 5 other things. Probably confused you right there. But yeah, this allowed me to have 2 Wizards Workshops making Mystic Matter. Also, I had a Beekeeper here, but I got rid of it. That is probably the reason why the rate dropped to 148 instead of the 149 that it was supposed to make, is because I got rid of this Beekeeper. It's possible I could have just kept the Beekeeper and the rate would have gone up to 149, but like I just didn't want to mess with that anymore, so I just kept it as is. Pretty sure it wouldn't have made a difference in my rank. I was kind of close to beating ZBI. I'm not really sure what I would have had to done to do that. I think I would have needed to sell like 120 more stones, so my rate was probably supposed to be like 152 per hour to beat him. He had me beat. I wasn't going to make 152. I tried my best to increase the rate as much as I could. Yeah, I practiced quite a bit on this one. Mr. Trupa says, what top 10? GG. Yes, I'm 52. Dang, so close to top 50. Despite that being very good, but I know how that feels. I've been in the 51st place a couple times. Same thing with 26th. Lately 11th or 12th plenty of times. Girl Gamer says, Merry Friday dub, congratulations on top 10, top 25 for me, congratulations to you. I did see a quick screenshot either you or Crypto Nerd posted on the guild chat, so that's cool. Yeah, yeah, you're around there somewhere. Yeah, it's a secret, right? Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much secure. That's the only change I made that I can remember. So having 2 Wizards Workshops making Mystic Matter did allow me to run this offline. I don't think it killed the rates. As far as I know, it didn't. I couldn't tell. Like, I was offline for a couple hours, and when I fast forwarded, everything looked fine. I still had overstocked Mystic Matter. I did change the auto trade quantity of Mystic Matter so it wouldn't trade until I hit 70, and I think I changed it to 80 afterwards. So yeah, it's 80. So yeah, when I got on, I still had plenty of Mystic Matter. So I'm like, oh, it works offline now. Cool. I should have set that up right when the competition started, and then I wouldn't have to deal with the whole having to be online the first day and a half. But that's fine. You know, I figured it out. So yeah, I only need 1 Wizard's Workshop making glue even offline. Like, that still works. But definitely needed 3 making Mystic Matter. I don't know if I said 2 earlier. It's 3. The Sorcerer's Hut is also making Mystic Matter. So it was 2 at first, and now it's 3. Needs to be 3. DeFi, hello. How are you doing? I'm doing very good. Thank you, DeFi. Hopefully you are doing great as well. Hopefully you're there somewhere. Now, I'm sure we've seen the details for the upcoming competition. I am going to pull up Discord. We'll talk about this. And I think some people are wondering what to do, right? So next week's competition is new meta, present boxes. At first glance, this is basically Stack Box 2.0. It still feels like that, actually. So yeah, it pretty much is Stack Box 2.0. There's like 5 different cash boosts. 3 of these we can ignore, or 2 of these, because like, why would you do that as a cash boost? But Chardonnay Grapes definitely is a real cash boost here. Going from 810 to 24k, that's a 30 times cash boost. So it looks like they're bringing back Grape Rush. That's awesome. I haven't heard people do Grape Rush in years. I heard that was a thing back then. I never even did that. So yeah, that's great. Chocolate bar and cheese for the people who have all the NFTs to do that, and that's, I guess, I mean, it's an option. I still think the Chardonnay Grapes will beat it. And present boxes is the meta. It says it goes from 2,000 stars to 150,000 stars. I do believe there's a typo here somewhere. I think the standard value right here says 20,000 stars. I think that's the correct number. You know how they are with the freaking announcements. They just, I feel at this point they just copy paste them and don't double check stuff. That must be it. But yeah, I think the stars value has a typo there somewhere, but we won't know until probably next week. Anyways, that doesn't matter. The thing that matters is the boosted value right here, 150,000 stars. So I'm gonna assume that's correct. In my opinion, it should be higher. Morris says, can use the same biome for next practice? Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm doing also. Yeah, you can use the same biome as long as you don't care about the desert. Because keep in mind that the desert gives you passive sandy or arid, which allows you to run your sand mines on a greencraft timer. And you're going to want to make glass bottles. So you're going to want silica. So just keep that in mind, whether it matters to you if you want your sand mines to be on a greencraft timer, right? Otherwise, you probably want the new biome. And it also has an oil seep in a different spot, I believe, right? Well, I can just check right here. Yeah, the oil seep is in a different location. They may be important for a lot of people. You probably do want to practice on the new biome. I already practiced like pretty much everything I needed to. Well, I still gotta wait for the update, right, to make sure I can actually make the presents. But I already practiced on this current biome in the practice server. I mean, that's why I wanted to go offline and everything, right? So present box, here's what you need. 1 wine case, 1 decorated cake, 2 chocolate bars, 2 cheese, 1 Chardonnay grapes. This is basically a decorated cake and wine case meta combined. but you still need additional space for the overproduction of chocolate bars. And then you need a different setup for the cheese. So that it takes up a good amount of space, really. And then you overproduce grapes. You were going to produce grapes anyways for the wine cases, so yeah, you just overproduce a little bit of grapes. It's kind of strange how they added this, but I guess it could have been worse. Right? Could have been more wooden boxes or something. Rachel says, yes, good old-fashioned grape rush. Yeah. DeFi says, I am good, placing 132 at present. Pretty good for me. Oh, sweet. Dini says, hey, Dub and everyone, hello. Resin box, of course, is made in the boxing facility. Craft time is 3 minutes 30 seconds. I believe that's the highest craft time of any crafts in the boxing facility. Yes. You don't make many of these, so like for most of you people, you probably only use one and you'd be good, right? Yeah, one with no NFTs could probably handle 10 presents. Probably, right? So the high craft time won't be a big deal to too many people. I mean, yeah, I kind of consider 3 minutes to be kind of high craft time. Gunther says, hi Rod. Hello Gunther. Hello Bayes. Says hi to all. Rachel says, you think 10 present box for top 225? I think so. Right now I am thinking, yeah. Mr. Chupa says, what a beautiful sheep setup. All yours? Yeah. All mine right here. The most OP sheep setup, and then next week we will see a very good milk setup and good, yeah, very good egg setup, I suppose. Yeah. John Mod, hello. So yes, that's it. This is gonna be very difficult to make. I really don't expect people with no NFTs to make that many of these. I'm not even sure if you should consider this, actually. I talked about this on Discord for a little bit. First of all, let's look at decorated cakes and wine cases independently. I have a build showcase for both of those. So I already pulled them up here. So this is going to be my decorated cake build showcase from over 2 years ago. And I'm assuming the craft requirements are the same. We'll see. Here's me with shorter hair. As you can see, my hair is kind of long right now. And that is on purpose, even though it's messy. But anyways, this was doing 13.3 decorated cakes per hour. Well, an important note though, I need to mention this now. An important note, we are not getting an ocean on next week's biome, and we do need a good amount of salt fields. So keep that in mind. I think I maybe have a cake build showcase that doesn't use an ocean, but obviously the rate is lower. And this one also uses an oil seep, but it's in a different location. All right. And I'm also assuming the craft requirements are correct. Yeah, the same. They're correct. I think so. But I don't know. I'm sure I mentioned it in this video. I didn't rewatch the whole video, of course, but I don't remember the craft requirements being different for this one. So 13.3 per hour would be best case scenario, but we don't have an ocean, so I don't even expect you to be able to make more than 10 decorated cakes per hour. 10 decorated cakes. Oh boy. 10 decorated cakes per hour. And keep in mind, this is just one of the 4 main things you're gonna have to make. You kind of look angry in that screenshot. I don't remember why. So yeah, probably if you were to only do decorated cakes, you could probably only do 10 per hour in the next week's biome. So just keep that in mind, right? Next, you're gonna need wine case. Here's the wine case build showcase from a year ago. 1 year ago. This one was making 23 wine case per hour. We did have the mountain, so keep in mind, once again, next week's biome will not include a mountain. So you're gonna need mines, you're gonna need iron for the oak barrels, limestone for the limestone and chromium for the glass bottles. You're not getting any mines. I mean, you're getting mines, but they're gonna be shallow mines because you're not getting the mountain. So if you were to only make wine cases without the mountain, you probably could do maybe with the right setup. We do have the desert at least, but with the right setup, maybe 12 to 14 wine case per hour, right? But once again, keep in mind, this is one of the main 4 items you need. Now, the other 2 items are cheese, which requires its own setup with rice fields, mixing tent to make white rice, sauce facility to make the rice vinegar, and then another mixing tent to make cheese. I was trying to remember because I make my cheese using the table appreciation. I'm like, what makes cheese again? Yeah, another mixing tent that makes cheese, which requires 2 milk, which you're already going to make milk for the decorated cakes, but now you'll need even more milk, right? And you'll actually need even more milk for the next item. So yeah, that's the whole cheese, and then you need 2 additional chocolate bars for every present that you're making. So you need 1 of them for the decorated cake, and then 2 more just cause. So that's 3 chocolate bars per present. If I got my math right. Yeah, I did. So that's even more sugar and even more milk that you're wasting there. And chocolate shops, of course, and cocoa trees, because you need all the cocoa. I wasn't even considering the cocoa for a minute, because like once again, like I use my chocolate fountains. Like I said, I was practicing last night. Like I'm pretty much almost, if not already done practicing. Like maybe there's like a few more tweaks I could possibly do once they push out the update, but we'll see. There's just so much going on in this. So if you were to split that in like 4, maybe you could do 2.5 decorated cake, 2.5 wine case, and then, you know, the cheese and the chocolate that you need to make the 2.5 of the presents. You get what I mean? And then the extra Chardonnay grapes, you'll get those anyways, right? So with all that being said, I think with no NFTs, you can maybe do 2.5 presents per hour. Best case scenario, probably 3. I could be wrong, but these are just my projections on the rate, which is very low. You can only make 3 presents per hour. That is very low. And about double what you can make, like twice as more versus Stackbox. Like I know no NFT Stackbox rate is somewhere between 1 and 1.5, believe it or not. Well, at least that's what I got in the build showcase I made a long ass time ago. So presents will probably be at least double that, so between 2 to 3. I think 2.5 to 3 is a better guess, but yeah, it's very, very low rates. Miss X Danny says hi, hello. Room 102 says, is anyone having trouble logging into the game? I've been online for the past 10 hours, as you can see. I'm not sure, maybe somebody else can answer that. Bea says, should we no NFT players go with ice blocks? Is there any alternative to this meta? That would probably be the best alternative, yes. That was the next thing I was going to talk about as well. So with that being said, that it's maybe you can do 3. I mean, if you're super good, maybe you can figure out even 4. But even if you figure out 4 per hour, ice blocks would actually beat it if I'm not mistaken. Let me go and do the math on the calculator again. So present boxes give 150,000 stars, multiply that by 3, that's 450,000 stars per hour if you were to sell 3 per hour. Now, ice blocks, I didn't pull up the ice block build showcase, but you guys have probably seen it 3 times. I would hope so, right? I appreciate the views on the videos. So each ice block sells for, or gives you 70 stars each when you sell. The no NFT ice block build, I know you can do 7,000, you know, assuming we get the river and the oil seep, which we will be getting. It's just that the oil seep's in a different location, but I'm sure you can figure that out. So 70 stars times 7,000 ice blocks. I could actually do like a few more than that, but some people have issues building the last couple of master wizards and stuff. So that's 490,000 stars. That is a little over 3 presents. That's 3.26 presents, just about. It should actually be a little higher than that. So in my opinion, I do think you're better off if you have no NFTs and no NFTs at all, or you just don't want to spend pretty much all day trying to figure out a build, you are better off doing ice blocks. Also, the cash boost for Chardonnay grapes is insane. I don't know how much cash you can make with that. I would assume you'd make, it would be like gold ore, you'd probably make like 50 mil per hour or something. I kind of do want to test that out, but we'll see. You get all the cash that you need from Chardonnay grapes to do ice blocks. Yes, ice block build is very expensive. It's boring to build for a lot of people, but the cash boost from the Chardonnay grapes will help out a bunch. It will make that probably a better option than doing present box with no NFTs at all. I'm doing good, thank you. Ms. Danny also says, which blockchain this game works? This game is using Gala chain from Gala Games. But as long as you go to games.gala.com, you can create an account using my referral code in the description. But you don't have to, but you know, that's supposed to do something. And then you can go to the game section, click Town Star, and then you can play from there. I mean, if you want to look into playing this game, I recommend watching a lot of other videos that I have for this game. And I also have a very helpful spreadsheet to help you learn more about the game and what to do. There's a lot of challenge in this game, especially for new players, but it can be very fun if you like these type of challenging games. And there are competitions, so yes, you can win Gala. It is possible. Many people do it, and about 1,200 people every week win some Gala. Spartans, hello, good morning. They should give more points for the boxes. Yeah, Rachel, I was also thinking that. I think it's too late at this point. Well, I guess they could change it. People could complain and they could change it. Do you want people to complain though? That's the thing. If they were to double the amount of stars, then you'd probably be better off doing presents instead of ice blocks. But like as it stands right now, I think you're better off doing ice blocks if you don't have any NFTs or very little. Even if you have like a few NFTs, you want to consider, like, do you want to spend all day trying to figure out a present build? These are really complicated. When I did that no NFT stack box build, that one time I did it, I got a headache and I'm like, I really didn't even have fun trying to figure that one out. That was hard as hell. Presents, I would imagine, are very similar if I were to try to do it. Ms. Danny says, I'm very new to blockchain gaming, only tried Raven Quest and Pixels. Oh, nice. I mean, there's a lot of games out there, right, for blockchain gaming. Not as much as like Web2 games, right? But yeah, this is another one, and I think it's fun, but it definitely is challenging. Like, oof, yeah, probably I would say it's one of the most challenging. There are rewards. I recommend you give it a shot anyways. Just don't come in here expecting to like get first place or anything. That's not how it works, but you play, you practice, you get the hang of it. You can win Gala every single week. Play this completely free to play. You don't have to spend any money. Now with the Gala you earn, you could just spend that and get even better stuff to help you in the game, but it's totally up to you if you want to go that route. Jarmon says, wow, new player coming in and boom, present box competition. That's difficult. That is true. This competition is not new player friendly at all. I do not recommend a new player come in here and attempt the present meta. If a new player were to come in here, I would recommend they do ice blocks, which, to be fair, it's not even that easy. Ice blocks is not the easiest thing to do, especially you have to do subgrade. I don't even do subgrade in my build showcases, usually no. But for ice block, it's required. You have to know how to properly place stuff using subgrade. That might not seem like a big deal to y'all, but like to new players, I'm sure it can be tricky. Bea says, thanks, sub. You are a great help. Cannot use Discord. Discord is banned here. Oh wow, didn't know that. This is the only place I can follow what is going on. So your help is precious. Thanks again. You are welcome. I really should be like posting more stuff on a YouTube channel to get more information out. Yeah, I didn't even like think about how many people are like banned from Discord or they just don't use Discord. Yeah, I should put out more announcements. That's like, even I usually just put out announcements on my own Discord server too. But there we go, event ended. I didn't check if the number 8 was still there, but I'm sure it was. Double check in a moment. And I still got to do my daily, I think. No, actually, I think I already did my daily challenge. I'm pretty sure I did because I was practicing last night and at some point I just did the daily challenge. It was bamboo, wasn't it? We had to sell 10 bamboo shoots. Gala games, right? Yeah. Oh, I can type it in the chat right here. Let's see. I mean, you don't want to go to a fake website because that's the thing when you like Google. When you Google these places, there's a bunch of fake websites out there. So I'll post it on here. It's games.gala.com. That's the official website. I think the referral link in the description also takes you there. I mean, it should. Troy Mill says, just got on. Did you say what a good non-NFT rate would be? Yeah, I kind of broke it down, but the TLDR here is, I think between 2.5 to 3 per hour would be a reasonable, predictable rate for presence. A good rate, if you could manage it, would be 3 to 4. This is with no NFTs, right? Or pretty much none. But the thing is, you are probably better off doing ice blocks. If you can manage to get 4 presents, like you want to try the challenge, go for it. Try to get 4 presents. Challenge yourself to try to do that. I don't even think it's possible. But if you can get 4 presents, that might be better than ice blocks. It probably is, actually. But the thing is, I just don't think it's even possible. Or it's just going to be very, very challenging to do so. But if you can only get 3 presents, which I do think 3 presents is possible, I think you're just better off doing ice blocks. Just don't spend all day trying to figure out how to do 3 presents, and then it's just not even better than ice blocks. You're gonna get beat by people doing 7,500 ice blocks per hour with no NFTs or something. But today, okay, I already did the daily challenge. I'm not gonna go on my practice server because then I leak my whole competition build out. I'm telling you, I practiced for a couple hours last night, and I pretty much have a plan for presents. I just need the update to go live. I have everything built. Let's load up Townstar mode, which I think I load up. No, I load up before the competition started, so it'll take a while here. To push for no NFC at 8 to 10, that's not possible. No. There's Danny. See, I got another one on Goody. Thank you. You are welcome. Yeah, I also have a link to my Discord in the description if you do want to join, hang out, ask any questions. I mean, we sometimes get new players in here asking questions too, and we try to do our best to help them out. And we communicate info about like the upcoming competitions and stuff on here too. Troy Mill says, wow, I was calculating on a build rate of 10. Need to rethink everything. I think you're correct. We'll fall back to ice blocks and get 7,200 plus on that. Yeah, that's right. I did kind of a breakdown on my thoughts on why it would be that low of a rate. Like, just to go over it quickly again. Miss Danny, thank you so much for following. Appreciate that. Thanks, I go join on Discord. Just very quickly here, decorated cake build showcase 13 per hour, but we're not getting an ocean, so it's not going to be more than 10 per hour if you were only to do a decorated cake build. So already 10 presents is out of the question. Wine case build showcase 23 per hour, but we're not getting a mountain, so cut this in half. You'd maybe get 14 per hour if you were to do the entire town for wine cases. You need both of these together. In addition, you need the setup for cheese, and you need additional chocolate. So you need more cocoa trees, more sugar, more milk. All of that in mind, there's no way you're doing more than 4 per hour. So maybe 3 per hour. So that's kind of the summary. I spent a couple minutes talking about that, but That summarizes why you cannot do that many presents. It's way too difficult. This is basically the second version of Stackbox. It's a little easier than Stackbox, if you could even say that. I'm not even sure if I would use the word easier. It's a little different. Any idea for top 50 rate? Not exactly, but like Mr. Troopa, do you remember? I don't even know if you did Stackbox on Anything Goes, but that's also not a very good example. I think the present box rate will be at least double your Stackbox rate. So if you can do, I don't even know what top 50 is for Stackbox is. 20 maybe? I don't know. If you could do 20 stack box per hour, try to aim for 40 present box per hour, and then they'll probably get you the same rank that 20 stack box per hour would, something like that. So I'm not exactly too sure on those numbers right now. This definitely is going to be very NFC heavy because there's so many items involved, of course. Grandma says hi all. Hello, Grandma. The Discord link only bring me to Discord, but not the group invite link. That's interesting. Sometimes people have issues with the Discord link too. Me copy paste it, make sure it works for me at least. It works for me. Actually, I think I can do 2 links. So this is the main Discord link that I share everywhere, because it's a nice looking link. And then what I can do, I can make another link. It's a temporary one, but it's brand new. It's one of those links that expire. And I will post that one too, see if either one of those works in the chat. Without Sommelier, I don't think I could do top 50. Yeah, Sommelier is very helpful. 50% craft time reduction and 2 less grapes required. It does save a ton of space. I do think you're right, Mr. Troopa. Without Sommelier, Vineyard, you do lose a significant portion of space. Yeah. Yeah, got it? Awesome. Lexo says ice blocks to battle the present box might not be a good idea given that ice blocks is a long build and start points of present is 165k, I think. Present boxes are 150k. You are right that icebox is a long build. It does take like it could take like a day and a half, right? But look, Chardonnay grapes are massively cash boosted. I don't know if any, does anybody remember how many Chardonnay grapes you could do per hour with no NFTs? I have no idea. Like, people used to do these grape rushes back in 2022 or something, but I've never done that. I think that this will give you all the cash that you need within a few hours. So to the point that you could finish an ice block build on the first day. That's what I think. I don't know that for sure, but that's what I think right now. When is the next town hall? I'm not sure. They haven't announced it yet, but it's like every month. Gunther says, thank you for your no NFT maps. You are welcome. I'm glad people find them helpful. I do my best on them, right? I'm gonna check the Discord chat here real quick. Okay, just a couple people celebrating. Somebody mentioning the corrupted portal for some reason. All right. Oh, there was one more thing I was gonna pull up here. Well, there's some NFTs I'll talk about. As Danny says, I just start the game, but you don't get any tutorial in the game, right? Actually, I think you do, but it's not a very good tutorial, if anything. So I have a video I would recommend you would watch it. It is kind of one of my longer videos. Let me look it up. Just so I'll share the link with you on the chat too. How to play and be competitive in Townstar or Common Ground World? They had changed the name, so let's see. I didn't remember what I named the video. It's a little of an old video, but I would think all the information there still stands. Eddie, hello. I actually should make another how to play and be competitive video. They take a long time to make though. That's the thing. This one is a year old. 1 year old. Kinda, but not really outdated. So let me pull up the screen here. Can't really go over everything right here in just a matter of minutes, but I'll link the video in the chat in case you want to watch it later. It is long though, so like I don't expect you to watch the whole thing, but like this is gonna provide you the most info possible. I dropped my empty bottle. And they changed the name, just keep that in mind. At some point it used to be Common Ground World and nobody liked it because it was supposed to be some kind of partnership and that didn't happen, so we're back to Townstar, which everyone appreciates. So they did change out the little start menu. I don't recommend you do Townstar mode, which is going to be on your left because that's a slow version of the game. I recommend you click on events, and at the top right you will see a section that says practice. That's the main one you want to play, that practice server, because that's, well, of course, where you'll be able to practice with the regular rules of the game and not any slowdown rules. And then on Tuesdays is when the competitions start. They run for 72 hours. They will end on Fridays. We just had one that ended 11 minutes ago. They usually post updates Friday nights, which allows us to practice the next week competition. So that's what we're going to be waiting for later today. But yeah, this video will explain a lot more information on like tools you can use to properly design your layouts. But when you first start, you're going to be very confused. You're going to be struggling to even make gasoline, possibly. I do have another video that explains how to do gasoline production and how to create a cash rush using gold. There are different methods of cash rushes. Next week, Chardonnay grapes is going to be a good option. But yeah, there's just so much stuff to learn about this game that it's going to take practice and experience, really. But that almost hour and a long video that I shared gives a lot of information. A lot. And it does give you an idea on how to create a design, but that's for one that happened a year ago, right? Well, that was for the throw pillow competition. I don't think we've done throw pillows. Yeah, we haven't done throw pillows again since that, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember doing it more than once. Yeah, I don't get anything in screen when start. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the thing. It's confusing at first. And then you have people here that stick around, that get better, and that have fun. Well, I suppose that's why they're still here, right? DeFi says, cannot remember how many grapes are possible. Yeah, it's been a long time since anybody's done a grape rush, right? Buian says, hi Dub, I built like your guy 99%, but I only got 9 Philosopher Stone per hour. Do you know why? I would probably be able to give you a better answer if you were to like come to my Discord server and show me like a screenshot of your build. Maybe a screenshot of your visualizer too if you had one, but maybe not, right? But a screenshot of your actual build, and I'd probably have a better idea as to what changed. Like, why didn't you get the what was it, 13 per hour that it should have made, right? Wait, why you only got 9? Somebody else said they did my design, they only got 6. I assume it wasn't a carbon copy, but yeah, that'd be the only way I'd be able to tell, right? Because when I do the build showcases, I know for sure that you can do that rate. I have several people tell me like, yep, that's the rate it did. Or they got it even higher because they implemented some NFTs. But usually when they say it's lower, it's because they forgot to rotate something, they didn't build something correctly, they didn't pave their roads. There was something that wasn't done that should have been done. I usually don't even mention it in the videos, but you are supposed to pave all the roads. You can't leave them as dirt roads. It very clearly makes a difference. The builds won't work if you just use dirt roads. And there might be like a few roads there that don't have to be paved, but I just pave them anyways. Better, easier to just tell people to pave all the roads. Quayman says, Grape Rush was a thing when I started. Yeah, that was before I started. Or maybe it was when I started. But I never did a Grape Rush though. I would do Wool Rush. But I feel like Wool Rush was a thing when I started. Nobody really does Wool Rush anymore. It's all Gold Rush now. The Jackals, what's up? With 5 row with all Chardonnay. It's gonna take several hours, I guess, to get the full ice block. But building the ice block gonna take years. I mean, it always takes a long time to do the ice block builds. I don't even think they're very fun either. But it's probably less than a struggle than figuring out how to do 3 or 4 present boxes per hour. So it's a really hard meta. Thanks, I click event now I see something to do. There you go. There's also the daily challenges, which I don't think I even explained in that video that I shared because that was a year ago. They recently added the daily challenges back. There's really no reason to do those unless you have NFTs that give you what are called town points, which would eventually contribute to the daily play and earn system of the game. You know, daily earnings, play to earn system, daily play to earn, however you want to call it. Right now, that's not completely done. We're still waiting on the actual token for the game. Because right now, the people who are doing the daily challenges and they have the NFTs that allow them to qualify for town points, they are getting a soft currency known as dirt, which will eventually be converted to the real tradable on-chain currency, which we believe is called soil, unless they changed it. But yeah, there's really no reason to do daily challenges if you don't have any NFTs. That's it. Unless you really want to do them for fun, but like people tend to do them for the rewards. Dave says it could also be that he didn't wait long enough for the production to stabilize. That could be it also. Like, once again, I'd probably want to see a picture of the build first, and if everything looks fine to me, then I would want to see pictures on production rates, or it would be better to have both, right? Like, if I see your production monitor and I see like, hey, why aren't you making this many ceramic bowls? It would probably be easy to figure out why the rate didn't work. The Jackal says even 3 boxes per hour can't help to save the same points with instant ice block, I guess. But I don't know if you got better build with no NFTs. Right now I'm thinking I can't do more than 3 present box per hour. That's really what I think. And I'm undecided if I want to do a build showcase on present box, because if ice blocks are going to beat it, I go through all the struggle and challenge of trying to do the 3 present box, and at the end of the day I'll be like, here's the present box build, don't do it, do ice blocks. That's just what I'm gonna tell people. And it's kind of gonna seem like a waste of time. I mean, hopefully I had fun doing the 3 present box per hour or whatever, supposedly, but I don't know. It's a very complicated meta, right? Thank you so much for subscribing on YouTube as well, Miss Danny. Appreciate it. Herb says it's I don't think I read this one. It's 6 minutes per grape, so 10 per hour per grapevine. Let's say you got 150 grapevines and the rest is logger tree farm. You'll get 1,500 grapes or 36 milk cash per hour. Not as much as I thought, but that's not too bad. I guess you would still need to run it for like 6 hours, huh? Let's talk about one new NFT, but before I do that, let's go on. Where should I start? Let me start here. So the Memorial Day boxes, I tried to ask Gala staff on if this is going to be temporary or not. I haven't gotten an answer. They said to look into it. But I think we got our answer. We got our answer this morning. So yes, I will talk about this Memorial Day box. It's still in the store, but something changed. The discount's gone. It was 40% off for, I want to say, a whole week. It's not discounted anymore. It's 50 bucks instead of 30 bucks. This is huge, okay? People aren't gonna want to buy it anymore. Maybe there'd be some people crazy enough to do it anyways. But this is going to affect the prices of badges. Like I was saying on, was it Tuesday? Yeah, I think I was talking about this on Tuesday. I suspect the value of badges is gonna go up because I expected either this will happen where the sale would end or they would just completely pull this from the store. They might still do that. I don't know. I haven't gotten an answer on it. But obviously the discount has ended, which means it's more expensive. A bunch of people bought it for 30 bucks. Why would you want to buy it for 50, right? Doesn't make sense. So less people are going to buy it. There's going to be less badges available and people are going to realize that the badges are now harder or more expensive to get, right? So now let's look at the pricing of the badges. I also said that the price of these dropped a lot because, or somewhat, because a bunch of the top players bought a bunch of packs and they had a bunch of spares to sell, right? That was mostly the case for the Navy rare badges. Military badges nobody cares about. I don't expect the prices of those to change. So we have, mostly looking at the two rares here. Air Force badge, there's still 2 on sale. I don't expect them to get cheaper than this, at least short term. No, really. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't expect them to get cheaper than this. I'm gonna refresh these 2 pages also just in case. I mean, it's been like an hour maybe that I had this open. Okay, it's still the same. All right. So yeah, all of these have sold for over 1,000 already. But it's gonna be harder to get these or more expensive, like I said. If anything, I think they should reconsider and probably increase their price, but that's not for me to say, right? And here's the Navy badges. I mean, we got somebody selling a set for 9,000 Gala. That's cool. A couple people bought their sets for around that price, yeah. Pretty soon, I would think. It's not going to be any more sets for sale. Definitely not as many people getting the badges now, though. That's what I think. So just keep that in mind about the badges. Now, is this gonna load or is it gonna disconnect? We'll see. Jackal says, even with everything goes competition, I can still get top to 100, even top 900 with Icebox build. I think most people are gonna do that as plan B, yeah. It's still loading. Alright, so that's it with the badges. Goes up in price. They haven't told us what the new NFC will be. I have a prediction. I believe it will be the Epic Winery. So a rare winery already exists, so of course they come out with the Epic one. Actually, a legendary winery exists too. It's called the Sommelier Vineyard. It's way better than this. I'll just say that now. The Epic Winery, though, it says a Vinter that works 20% faster. Very weird language, like the past couple of months worth of NFTs. They're all worded like this, and we're not used to it. This means 20% faster movement speed and costs 20% less. That means 20% less wages. The rare winery is also 20% less wages. And the winery itself produces 30% faster than the rest. This means that this specific winery has a 30% reduced craft time. And this gives 10 time points. What I'm not sure is whether this is a quarter tile or not. It doesn't look like a quarter tile. It looks like a full tile. It doesn't say that here. I'm not sure we'll figure it out. We'll see. I would assume this is the NFT that's going to be sold this week. Today, I'm not sure, but figure I'd mention it here. I did update the Townstar playbook to include the information, well, currently known information for this and the soybean storages that we got for just playing the game last month. And I also have the information on the present boxes here. So Downstar playbook should be up to date already with the new info. And the here's the competition list, competition reward stuff, right? There it is. Did you ever play Roaming Quest or Pixels? I've heard of both, but no, I haven't actually played either one. Oh, it did load up. Did it get stuck? I actually think it did get stuck. Too many, yeah, too many glass bottles. I think ever since I put that NFC that makes the glass bottles craft faster, it doesn't craft oak barrels fast enough, so it just gets stuck. And like, I know how to fix that. I could just put more lumber mills, but I kind of just don't feel like doing it. Like, I'll turn one of these off, I guess. Not really a big deal. Oh, okay. I had the full set down. I think it took off one of the common ones that I sold. Air Force. Okay, there we go. I have not changed this in like over a year. At some point I was considering it doing wine cases, because then I wouldn't have to sell these that often, but it doesn't really matter. I'm not worried about this. It's not as fun as trying to practice for the actual competitions. So I really don't think I'd do a build showcase for next week. What do you guys think? You know, those of you who are here and listening, should I try? I could try, but I don't think it's just gonna be better than the ice block build. I'm just not sure. I really should make up my mind, but like, because if I say maybe, people are gonna be like, oh, he's gonna make one, I'll wait until he posts it and I'll just use that. But if I say I'm definitely not gonna make one, then at least the people who are listening know to expect that I'm not gonna make one. The thing is, I still think you're just better off doing ice blocks. So let me know, you think I should take a shot at making the no NFT present box build, if it's even possible? Or are you gonna make one? Are you gonna practice for the present box design? Kind of depends on how many NFTs you have, I guess. So I really should ask, for those of you with little to no NFTs, are you even gonna consider making present boxes? Baya says just skip the build case. I know Willbike said I should skip the build showcase because then people do better at the competitions because they're not copying my design. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. You could argue that it just makes it worse because my build showcases help people. But yeah, you help some people and then you hurt other people's. It's a double-edged sword. I've had this conversation before dozens of times by now. That's just always how it is. Doesn't make sense. Dave says you usually end up producing more than you expect. That does seem to be true. I'm not sure why. That's not always true, but usually it does seem to be. Is it a bug or something in my leaderboard? Not be 1397 on my 603 today. Usually they distribute the rewards on Mondays. These are mil stars. Oh, he's a Galaxian. He didn't change his name. Wow, Lycan's in that screenshot too. Is that really all they made? What rate was that? Let me ask him. Let me ask. What rate did you get to? Skip the showcase and concentrate on your comp build? Well, to be honest, I'm pretty much done with my competition build, but I could always just do something else. I see majority of the people are confused about how why the free fall Friday works. I probably should make a video that just talks about that, even if it's a few minutes long. Like, give an example. Yeah, try to give a mathematical example. I remember that very mathematical video I made about Towncoin way back then, like 3 years ago, that I didn't expect people to watch because it was just some complicated equation on that explains like why people are getting this amount of Towncoins. You guys probably don't remember it. I think I took that video down, obviously, because Towncoin's not a thing anymore. But I had figured out the equation they use to determine how many Towncoins we get and stuff. Like, predict it. Bea says maybe just explaining the important points, like how many mines, etc. Well, I mean, I really would have to like still come up with a build to do that. If I will give it a go, but I do have a number of NFC as part of the learning aspects of the game. I mean, it's good. You'll learn, definitely, even if it doesn't end up working out. Like, you gotta practice to get better. Yeah, if you're not gonna make present boxes, you gotta treat the next competition as an anything goes competition. So like ice blocks is usually the way to go. I really am not sure, or I really don't think anything else would be competitive. Like fishing or red lamps, that's not gonna beat it. The thing is, you can do more present boxes than you can do stack boxes. So like, it's either present boxes or ice blocks. That's the way I see it right now. No, Dory says, I always appreciate any videos that you make, but it's all up to you as it's your time and effort that goes into this. Yeah, of course. Yeah, because like I feel like it's just not gonna be it's not gonna be the best thing to do for no NFTs. I have to think about it like that. But we'll see. So right now, probably not gonna be a build showcase, but I will at least go on the visualizer and see what can be put together to make something work. I don't know how many effort I'll put in it. It's just, we'll see. We'll see how I feel about it during the weekend, the next 2 days. And if something is possible, I'll mention it on Discord. I'll be like, hey, there might actually be a build showcase. If not, then I'll just do something else. For those of you who play Vexy Villages, I did finish that little spreadsheet I was working on it. I mean, there's a lot of info for Vexy Villages that I'm just not gonna have. Some people shared some information with me, which I appreciated. And then like eventually I'll put it on the spreadsheet here, which let me pull up, which is not my priority. Like this mostly is just a copy of the Townstar playbook, which is for Vexy Villages. So you got all the in-game buildings, their sizes, their categories, build costs, what their production is. If there's a competition, then some of the productions will get points. Various items in the game, whether they can be crafted, how they can be obtained. Mostly I see people confused about the newspaper dispenser things. You can barely see it on here, but I think the newspaper dispenser blocks is exclusive to that first competition that ended like 2 weeks ago, right? But yeah, there's some info here. If I had more information on the appeal to visitors, I would put it here. But this is all the info I have about that. Oh, somebody did share a screenshot with me about the level requirements. I'll update this a little later. And this was the first competition. They gave out about $2,000 worth of Gala, right? Somewhere around there. And I think I mentioned it before, but they distributed these Gala rewards like almost instantly. That was pretty good. People like the almost instant distributions. I mean, I assume like how could you cheat on this, right? Or maybe they didn't catch any cheaters, but yeah, that's cool. So that's done. It's shared on my Discord in the Vexy Villages announcements channel that I have there, and I'll try to add more info to that, but like I'm not very worried about that. As far as spreadsheets go, Talent Star Playbook is the most important one. The most important information. Did I double check the leaderboard? I'll do that now. That'll be probably the last thing I do. I do wonder what the like minimum number of Philosopher stones you had to make to get to the top 1200 was. Let me check what he said. 13. Did I on the video? No. He did not fast forward. That's what it is. Okay. He did not fast forward. Yeah. Okay. Let me actually write that down. Yeah, but I don't make a build showcase video. I really should just consider making a video. And then this wouldn't even take that long either. Making a video just explaining the Free Fall Friday. I don't know what I would call it though. I probably wouldn't call it that. Offline mode explain. Must fast forward before competition ends. What is Free Fall Friday? Or maybe I will call it offline mode explained. I swear I explained it at some point in some video. I don't remember. Maybe it was at that video, that 1 hour long video, how to play and be competitive. I would assume in that video I explained offline mode. But obviously it's a long video, not everybody will watch it. I need a shorter video that's just explaining this Free Fall Friday stuff, because I do see the question come up quite a couple times. But yeah, must fast forward before the competition ends. Offline mode recommended. Vulture says appreciate the effort with Vexy Villagers volume. Nice auto reference guide, yeah. Finished 36 and made 68.5 per hour. Okay, makes sense. Actually, that's better than I thought, Coinman. I think I was telling people. I'm trying to remember. I think I told people 70 per hour for top 50 and you'd be good. So you got top 50 and you were only 68.5 per hour. Okay, I overshot my prediction there, so you definitely didn't need 70 per hour. That's good. That's very good. I wonder what the maybe it was 60 per hour. Okay. Yeah, and I think, what did I tell people for top 100? I think I said, what was the numbers? I told somebody. I probably go back and find it. Was it 40? I think I told 40 per hour. Am I just making numbers up now? Hold on. I know who asked me this. Let me look. Probably like 45 per hour top, 170 per hour top 50. That is what I did say, at least to somebody. I don't know how many people I told this, but you guys want my predictions. I'll just try to predict stuff, but like it's not always gonna be perfect. All right, what's up? Sadfix says I mistake and drop down in 1250. Dang, you made a mistake. I assume is what you made. Start late and maintain 700. Okay, that's what gets some people too. They start late. Let me write that. Starting late is also one of the reasons why the free fall Friday incident happens to some people. DeFi says I see the vaccine newspaper thing in game, third tab for small structures. Yeah, oh yeah, I need to add that to the spreadsheet too. I didn't do good enough in the competition to get one of those blocks. Not even sure what the blocks are called, but to my knowledge, that newspaper thing gives for appeal, as far as I know. Sadvik, 16 per hour. Oh, that's pretty good too. I mean, that should have made top 1200. But yeah, I don't know exactly how late you started. Sunstar offline mode explained is a good title. Yeah, that's the most simple title I can make, so that's probably what it'll be it. Maybe on the thumbnail I'll put Free Fall Friday incident or something. Go ahead. Fixed game. Please make another video. Oh, you mean on the Vexy Villages game? I probably will before the next competition starts. I want to wait for them to at least announce some info. They should announce more info on exactly which items will get points. Because that's the thing I noticed on the very first day of the Vexy Villages competition. Is people were confused why they weren't getting points. Like even I was for a while. Like I didn't pay that much attention to it. But yeah, only coffee gave 10 points and office supplies gave 20 points. And office supplies was blocked by, I mean, you required NFTs to do that. So yeah, I understand why people were confused. And then you can only have a certain amount of some buildings. Oh yeah, there we go, 8th place. Pretty close to ZBI, like I was saying earlier, but I don't think I could have done anything to pass them up. It was like a difference of like 100, no. What was the difference? Was it 100 Philosopher Stones per hour? So he was doing like 150 per hour maybe. It's really close. That's assuming he didn't have any issues with offline mode. Probably not. Yes, I see that video too, but it's mobile blinking. What do you mean by mobile blinking? What do you mean by that? They say they try to fix it, but haven't been able to. Yeah, that whole bug with the enchanted fireworks not working offline, that sucks. Alright. I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Once again, build showcase probably not going to happen. Well, at least mess with the idea a little bit. But at the end of the day, if you're no NFTs, you're probably better off doing Icebox. And if you really want to try, give it a shot. Get some Tylenol too for that headache you're gonna get. Zadvik says that when we play Vix or Vox, I assume, Vexy, in mobile, it's a bug maybe, mobile screen, blink blink. I've not had that issue. Whenever I play Vexy Villages on my phone, I don't think I see like any lags or issues. When I play it on BlueStacks, I get a lot of visual lag. I do get some like buttons missing, but not on the phone. Maybe it depends on which phone you use. I have a good phone though, so like maybe that's it, right? I'll reply to that in just a moment. Alright, yeah, that's gonna be it. As usual, I'll be on Discord hanging out. Yeah, I'll reply to that in a bit, my bad. I keep getting distracted. Yeah, I'll be on Discord hanging out as usual. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Practice whatever you're gonna practice. Like I said, I'm pretty much almost done practicing, but obviously after they push out the update, so gotta do some final checks to make sure it all works. Best of luck to everybody on your practicing, and see you all later. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.